Listen, I need to talk to you about Rhea. I can't control her. Can I just bring her to you?
You didn't want me coming here for the longest, and now you just throwing me off on this man?
This man is your grandfather.
You can put your bags right here in this room. This is gonna be your room. Your mama tell me you can't stay out of trouble. I can tell you now, we're not gonna have that down here.
Why do you already think I'm a bad person, and you don't even know me?
You'll see. You're gonna come to appreciate what's around you and who's around.
We're not hiring busboys right now.
I didn't know you could still walk into a store and ask for a job.
Yeah, well, apparently you can. I'm Tugger.
Rhea.
It's a picture of me and your daddy and one of his boxing masters.
Did you train my daddy?
I got an old bag and some old gloves out there in the barn. After you finish your chores, might go out there and take a couple of swings. Tugger, this is my granddaughter, Rhea.
Do you know of any boxing spots around here?
Those girls are tough. They go for blood. I'm Vaughn, Tugger's cousin and roommate.
I told you I'm done robbing people, man. And I'm definitely not about to rob my own girl.
I'm gonna do whatever I tell you to do.
That nonsense out there ain't boxing. You're gonna get yourself hurt.
I'm just
hard-headed. You understand? Hard-headed.
Pa doesn't hate you. He just wants you to be okay.
Only one he has doing something that he doesn't even approve of.
You are so much like your father. All of his good parts.
You're gonna grow to love this place right here. I want you to know it's all right.
After watching Boston on Peacock, where Reginae starred as a lead role character, actually, it took me 3 tries of watching the movie. Not so much for the fact of saying that it was bored. I was bored from it. I know I saw a lot of reviews where some people said that it took them some time to get engaged on the movie, but I just chose the wrong time of the day to try to watch the movie, which was night while I was laying in bed, and I slipped away in sleep. And so I watched it again for the 3rd time this morning. And I was just more so eager to see her in a lead role because just seeing her growing up and how she's transformed over the years, I was really like, my eyes were really open to kind of view her as an actor and just giving her a chance and trying to take in her craft of being an actress, I would say. And so I think, just from a standpoint of reviewing the movie, and not so much trying to put her, like reviewing her as an actress in the role, because really, to be honest, your acting skills are somewhat limited by the storyline. And I think there were a lot of missing pieces in the storyline that people are casting on her acting skills and saying that, if they give you, sometimes they'll give you a role that's similar to your own personality. You might have some similar person, but that's not on her. The fact that the role, even the girl's name was kind of like a play on her real name, Rhea. And then the way that she dressed, that to me would be more so of the production call to show you how your character dress and how they, so you can carry on that full persona. But the feel that I got from the movie, watching it and seeing even from what she was dressed like, how her hair was, it was as if, the production allowed them to dress as herself. They probably wanted to utilize her original self as a part of the movie. But then, she's playing a role of this teenager who is boxing. And so a lot of people kind of downplayed her acting skills just because of the simple fact that they felt like they just saw her being herself on the screen. But I think that plays a whole lot with the production side of it. What about the people who are in charge of what the cast wear during the scenes and things like that? I feel like there was no guidance there, and she was probably allowed to wear what she wore, which is something that I would say she would probably wear herself, you know. So it really kind of played on her as herself, but allowed her the flexibility to still stretch her acting abilities by playing the role in those scenes and showing emotions. And so this movie, it really did have some sentimental moments within the movie. There were several opportunities where I feel like not so much on her plate that she could have played more into. I feel like the storyline could have delved more into it a little bit, to bring out like some real, true, raw emotions. There would have been several moments where people probably would have been brought to tears. Like, for example, for a mother, I understand a mother, you know, being a single mom and raising a child, and they're rebelling against you, and her mom is going to school trying to advance herself to provide. The moment when her mother kicked her out, that was like a sentimental moment that I feel like the audience would have just kind of gravitated towards had it been a little bit more in the storyline to kind of give that opportunity to really show true emotions. That would have been a perfect time to show some tears, some type of, you know, now I wouldn't say fight, but like a tug of war type of deal between the conversation that her mom was having with her. That would have been a great opportunity to see maybe her storming out or some type of intense emotion as a reaction of your parent pretty much kicking you out. Or sending you to live with somebody else. And because that the relationship between her grandfather and her was pretty much non-existent, that could have really been an opportunity to kind of shed a little light on that. You don't really know that their relationship was non-existent until she actually arrives at her granddad's house, and you hear the story of her dad, which is another sentimental moment that could have been used to really delve into emotion and really try to get your audience to come to tears or come in agreement with the intense of the emotion, because that's like another big moment in the movie. I feel like that could have really gave it a little bit more, with the storyline, because it's like you don't really even know. I'm not really sure. I'm thinking her dad died in an accident, but it wasn't quite clear. It just said that they were driving, and they were arguing. And then later on, her mom says that boxing made her dad treat her badly, but they didn't really kind of show. It would have been nice to maybe see like some flashbacks of that, some type of visual flashback of, her dad and her mom and their relationships and things like that. Or even, some type of thing like that. But maybe that's because it's, they only had a certain amount of budget for the movie. And so if we really consider how much money they had for the movie and how long they were able to produce the movie, because the length that it takes to produce a movie, that directly correlates to how much it costs, I would think. So given the time frame and the budget, we probably would review the movie a whole lot. I guess not so strictly on what we saw. If we really looked into what they were given, how much time, how much guidance and so forth, you would probably say, well, considering that situation, she did great, because who would be able to do that in that length of time and with that amount of money and so forth. So I would definitely love to see her more more in some more movies, you know. I feel like you got to take the roles that you're given and make the best of them. And I feel like she did that. So, I mean, I wouldn't really downgrade her acting skills and play on it. I just hope that she stay consistent, because that's a part of it that people are looking for. If it's something that she's really, really, and it seems it's from the interviews that she's had online that she's very serious about it, I would hope that she would be consistent and don't let critics or things like that kind of make you second guess yourself. So I'm all for the movie. I'm all for her as an actress too. I just wish, you know, I feel like if those moments were kind of delved more into to give more of a storyline, it would have really like been a great hit for her. Like if it could have been something that could have happened to help the storyline a little bit. And then at the end, like her relationship with the guy, it just kind of happened. I mean, like, I feel like when he asked her to go out to eat, it's like, okay, they're in a relationship already, because some of the conversations and things that she was saying, it was like, okay, you want to see his daughter, and kind of like the tension or the emotion that was shown in their conversation about, pretty much they were in a relationship. Like, it just seems like it just happened. There was no progression. There was no type of storyline. They just came across each other at a coffee shop and ran into each other again because he knew her granddad and he actually worked for him. And then later on you find out that he used to train as a boxer with her granddad. And so he started training her. But I mean, and then another part that was just like, really question mark, like, is this reality? You know, like, there's no type of tension towards this, is when she goes and goes to the fighting match with her said boyfriend, and she winds up so she winds up fighting. She didn't know her granddad was there. He was there in the audience. I like that moment, like how they showed him there. That kind of brought out some intensity of, you know, the secret of that he was in the audience that she didn't know. And I really liked her, how she was, as far as you could just see that in her, she wasn't going to back down for nothing. And, you know, like the way that she played that scene, getting on within the stands, you know, the boxing mat and so forth, to compete against this female. I had to feel, and everybody have their own way of viewing and perceiving how to play certain roles, but it would have been nice, you know, how the boxers, they normally jump, they do a little bit more bouncing at the end when somebody's down on the ground, to kind of see some type of active movement similar to that. You know, when you see your opponent is on the ground, you're still on guard, but you don't really have to have your arms up in your face because they're on the ground. You more so gonna just be kind of pouncing around a little bit, kind of like a predator prey. Like, I done took down my prey and I'm standing over them like, hey, what you gonna do? You know, you bouncing around and stuff. Like, it would have been nice to see that, because it kind of took away from the winning of the, you know, you're winning, you know, you're proud that you won, and the ego, and kind of like her stance that it seemed like her character would have, winning something. Like, you're just like, you got to think of Muhammad, how Muhammad was and how Rock was. I mean, they were standing on the sides of the thing, you know, like when you have that true victory, you are just like on your own 10. And it would have been nice to see that, you know, some type of victory move, beating of the chest, kind of like you know, you got to act like an animal. Another thing, like her granddad, I mean, like, they had just so many different things. I mean, I feel like they probably tried their best with the storyline. They had so many different things within the storyline that could be very relatable to a lot of people. That her granddad had cancer. She didn't want her to know. But the thing is, they didn't allow him to die from cancer. He died from somebody robbing him, which that whole thing was just, it kind of felt like I felt like they tried to give too much, because they probably knew that they weren't, I wouldn't say competent, but they were lacking with their abilities and their skill set to write a script. So they've really probably thought about a lot of different things that people could relate to and made that a part of the story. And they just tried to piece it together. But some of the things just seems like it was not pieced together all together well, like it just didn't, you got this happening, you got that happening. Those are some great moments, but they didn't give it time to delve into it, to really see it fully out, like in the way that they wrote it. And I'm not saying that I know it's easy to say and review what other people have done, but I'm just, this is just my review. These are my thoughts, unfiltered. So I'm giving it to you the way that it came to me, my thought process of it all. I really feel like it could have been a great, great movie. I mean, it was a good movie. It could have been so much greater because they just had so much in there that could have been expound on a little bit more. Like, how could we make this really come out and capture the audience, with him having cancer? But they kind of took away that by allowing him to be killed by an armed robbery. And then you don't even really fully see how that pans out, because it seems like the guy just was there and he gone. Then he comes back. There's no showing anybody getting handcuffed, no type of emotion about that being resolved. It's kind of, a lot of things are left untied pretty much from the script. And it could have been a lot of those same things. Either they could have taken out the armed robbery, they could have taken out some of the things so that it would allow them time to delve more into some of the other moments, or they could have made it make sense some type of way, because when he gets shot and she comes there, I mean, like, that reaction was very good. Her reaction of seeing him on the floor and asking who did this to you? But again, they probably could have showed us, it could have brought it to some, moments of seeing it as an audience, could have brought out a lot of emotion. Like, oh my goodness. I don't know. And then that she wasn't able to see him, they just showed the crime scene tape. So the question mark in the audience's mind, for me is he dead? Is he alive? I wasn't quite sure. And then even with her talking outside, I wasn't quite sure, because she said if he's dead, and then she made some comments about, and it was just a script pretty much. I mean, these are the words that they're giving her. And being a new person coming in, she probably didn't feel as if, like, I need to change this, like something more needs to happen here, because she's just stepping into the acting role. And so she's just taking the script that they're giving her, and she's trying to do her best to portray the character that is written on those papers, which a lot of people said was very closely related to herself, which sometimes I feel like that's a strategy that some writers use, especially when the actress is just coming out. They probably use some of their characteristics as a thought process when they're writing the script and saying, I'm writing this script for this person. I'm not sure if it was that way or not, but what could be very good? This would be a very good business move if Reginae, and I'm pretty sure her mom is, I'm sure her mom is, like, if she could get on a Candy Burris production. But she might not want to do Broadway. But if Candy probably could step into, she's done a lot of Broadway plays. I wonder if Candy would ever write a actual movie. I feel like she would have done good with writing, with kind of bringing in some more insight. I'm not sure who the producers were on this movie, but that was just a thought. Let's see. I don't really say. They call it drama. It's a movie that's categorized as drama. And then also, like, the trailer for the movie is like, it's saying that she's trying to make a choice between loving boxing or the love of her life, or I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like they didn't really even get their storyline correct. Like, whoever produced the movie, they didn't really get their storyline correct all the way. I don't know. It's just, I feel like she did great. The movie is what it is because of the production and the limited production. It's going to show on the screen. But considering that it's a low budget movie, there were a lot of good things, like just the quality of the video. Because there are some low budget movies out here that you can tell, I mean, just by looking at how it looks. But the quality of the video was good. There were no little glitches with the cameras or how things panned out from scene to scene. I mean, it really kind of, when you have those low budget movies, they have to lose somewhere. But I feel like the storyline, that's someplace I feel like that would already be written. That's the only thing I feel like the storyline was kind of lacking. I really do. I honestly feel like it was a storyline because there are some of the people who are in that movie, they have been like her grandfather. He's been in several movies. He did an excellent job. And to be honest, sometimes when you're a new actress and you're working with some people who've worked, who have actually worked in the acting field for years, you can truly see your true capabilities as an actress when you're acting alongside them. So if we were to go back in our mind and kind of think how Reginae engaged with her grandfather when they were talking within different scenes, I feel like I didn't see like I saw a level conversation, meaning I saw the abilities of the actress. Sometimes you can see an actress that has high skill, and then you can see when somebody is lacking. But I couldn't pinpoint that within their acting roles, like when they were going back and forth. That was just me looking at it. I kind of feel like it was leveled out, like she actually reached up to his skill set with acting out and engaging emotionally with what he was saying and so forth. So, yeah. And like, there was a lot of different things that she really did that brought out emotion. I mean, I guess you would have to look very closely, like when she was at the cafe talking with her mom, and she's showing this emotion of trying to get out that she forgive her mom. She did very good. And to be honest, I feel like she would be a great actress because just her face, when somebody can make those different facial expressions that Reginae has just as being herself, she has so many facial expressions. I feel like that will come out to her benefit. And yeah, it might be some of the same faces that she make in the real life, but she's putting it within the character and allowing that to be a part of the character in certain scenes that make sense to whatever emotion that she's portraying and trying to bring out from the character. So yeah, I feel like just because of the simple fact, like if she was in a production where, I mean, like she took on, like they had it to where she had a different way of dressing, or her hair was done different. It wasn't like in the braids and things like that. And really brought out like the tomboy. You would think of a tomboy-ish person that would be boxing, They could have brought out a lot of things. Like if they would have made it in a school setting, I mean, you could just bring out her character more and who her character is by showing that she don't ever back down from a fight. You know, they could have put it in a school setting. And then I was always questioning, what's her age? Because it wasn't anything related to school. You know, I would think she's a teenager. But because there's not much talk about school, and if she could have like gotten kicked out of school, that would have really kind of made it really, you really understand, you know, it would have brought more sentiment to her mom choosing to allow her to live, you know, with her dad. Just the simple fact that she's out choosing to fight. Okay, why? You know, you can kind of see the why there, because they say she wants to be a boxer, but it could have brought it out more as a storyline. You know, if they could have put it in a school setting and kind of brought that out. But let's just see some of the cast members. And I really feel like they let her be the face. They were allowing her to be the face of this movie. Like this movie, she was the face of it. So her being Reginae Carter was kind of like the face of the movie. And so the character that she played, based off of that whole idea, they allowed the character to take on some of her personalities. And so that, to me, I wouldn't downgrade her ratings because of that, because that's just that's the choice that the production made. By casting her and allowing her to be the face. So you have Reginae Carter as the lead role. You have Clifton Powell. He is the grandfather. He has been in acting for years. He's been in several movies. He's played Crooks. He's played the evil guy. He's played the preacher. He's played so many different roles. And I mean, people want to review her harshly. You could even say some of his roles are similar, you know. Some of the roles that he's played. You have Ernestine Johnson. She's been in several movies. Let's see her background here. Yeah, she was in Think Like a Man too. Sabrina the Teen. So for her to be acting alongside these people who have been acting for years, I feel like she did great. And then to take on the lead role, I feel like she did great. That is no easy feat to take on a lead role around people who have been in the business for years. Now her boyfriend, the boyfriend in the movie, the boyfriend in the movie with, he seemed very similar to someone from the guy who played on Love Jones, but I'm pretty sure he's not that guy. Because that guy would be, excuse me, that guy would be much older. But I feel like I would love for her to just keep being in something, like keep busy. Get your acting going and be in as many acting projects as you can. Like even make your own little YouTube. You can do your short scripts. Her and her boyfriend, they could do little short stories and like acting. Do a little bit of writing on your own. She could kind of come up with her own storyline and act it out. And just acting, you know, doing things like that. I feel like that would bring out a lot more of her acting skills and abilities and allow her to showcase her skill set. Because sometimes, just like Kendra G say, you got to make it yourself. You can't wait on people to cast you for a role. Sometimes you got to make the table yourself. You can't wait for people to invite you to the table. You might got to be the table. You got to become the table for yourself. So I really like to see her in more roles, and doing more stuff even for herself instead of just waiting on them to cast her. She could create her own little short stories on her own YouTube channel, and just put a little line, title line for it, and just go with it and see what that would take her. And a lot of times people be watching those things and they'll cast you for the role just because. But I feel like she did great, and I'm hoping that brings out more, because I love watching movies and especially that type of movie. I would really like, I don't know if it would be, I don't know how they categorize that as drama. I guess it would be. So yeah, it's more serious. It's not I guess it is drama because there's a lot of just conflict that's happening. Yeah. But I would love to see her in like school setting. If they could have brought the school setting in there, that would have been nice. Or like family, some type more of a family role. Hers was more so like a broken family. Could be. Yeah, I'm eager to see what's going to come out of this. I hope she stay with it. I'll be eager to see her next role in whatever movie she plays. But it just would be nice to see, different styles of her. And then it'll be nice to also not to see something next soon, like if something were coming on the horizons, like next, like how Chadwick came out. Chadwick, he wasn't in I don't know when he was first acting, but he really came out after those they say it's 2-decade career, but I didn't really know much about him until the Wakanda movies and stuff. And he's been and since then he was like in so many different movies. Yeah, so. And then I wonder if Reginae will try to go to school, acting school, because a lot of these people that are in acting roles, not all of them, but majority of them who really take it seriously, like they are like acclaimed actors and actresses, and they have studied the art of acting. Like they take it serious, and it's like their life. And when they see somebody coming into their career, yeah, so it wasn't really that long. Like 2010. But really, to be honest, yeah, 2010, because then he was even Jackie Robinson. He played some big roles, and it was like several years. And so afterwards, he was constantly doing something, constantly seeing himself. I would like to see that same thing for her, like where she's in this role and then just seeing another one coming up would be so awesome to say, hey, she's in this movie. And I feel like people will support. People are going to watch because we want to see. We want to see see success, especially seeing how she has transformed over the years. And then now she's with a new she has a new boyfriend. She's 23. She's young still, guys. She's 23 years old, and she already has played a lead role. She's already delved into the possibility of being in the music industry. She's still be in the entertainment industry. She's an author. She's a businesswoman. I mean, she's doing good. And I feel like whether she continues with acting or not, she's going to still be doing good. And it's nice to see that she has that freedom and she knows her self-awareness enough to know if, hey, I done tried this. If I don't like it, I ain't got to stick with it. I can move on. But I feel like she really dreams to be in this side of entertainment as an actress. I wish her well. I really feel like she'll do great because she has those faces that she has so much stretch in her face to make different impressions without even verbalizing and words. And acting, I feel, is a lot of that. Being able to still portray the character just by your demeanor more so than just your words and how your words come out, So I really feel like she's going to do great. So what do you guys think? So looking at the credits on the movie Boston on Peacock, you can see that it is produced by Jay Carter, LaShawn Carter, JVR McIntosh, Tanaya Wright, Reginae Carter, Shaquita Hooks, Ariel Julia Hairston, Azaria Aldacre, and Kirsten Grace Hott. So you can see that it's even produced, like Reginae has made a major move in acting world because she's on the credits for being a producer. So that's just gonna go on her resume of the things that she's already been on. And then it says the movie was directed by Ariel Julia Hairston. And then you have the major cast are Reginae Carter, Clifton Powell, who was the granddad, Zane Copeland was the friend of Rhea's boyfriend, or cousin, actually. Yeah, so he was the cousin in the movie. He was the one that was the bad guy. He was the one who didn't want to change his life. He wanted to still rob, and he essentially robbed her granddad at the end of the movie. Then you got Sean Freeman, who was her boyfriend in the show. And then you got Ernestine Johnson, who was her mom. So it goes a list, Reginae lead role. Reginae Carter, the daughter of Lil Wayne, has 6.6 million Instagram followers, and this is her lead acting debut. She has also been in Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta from 2017 to 2018, MTV Cribs 2020, Social Security 2022, and Terra Lake Drive 2022. Clifton Powell is an actor and producer known for the films Ray, Selma, Lord, Selma, Dead Presidents, and Menace to Society, and the TV series The Family Business, Sacrifice, and Saints and Sinners. And I think he's been on more than that. He was also a part of Kevin Hart's movie. I remember, what was it? Clock is Ticking or something like that, when the girl was turning 30 years old and she wanted to have I gotta look up the name of that movie. He's been on several other movies, but I'm sure they can't list. That was a good movie, and I would think it was a low budget movie, as well. 35 and Ticking. Yeah, he was on that. He probably wasn't listed as one of the main, but he's been in several other, a long list of things. They just put, I guess, the top few things that he's been in. And then they have Zane Copeland, a.k.a. Little Zane, known for Dr. Dolittle 2, 2001, Love by Chance, 2017, Gutter, 2022, and BFM 2021. But I guess they just listed out recent things. I don't know. Ernestine Johnson is an actress known for Think Like a Man 2, 2014, Make Time for Love 2015, Downsize 2017, The Holiday Switch 2021, and Scheme Queens 2022. So, yeah, that's just to give a background since I said I didn't know who produced this. Actually, I did not when I look on their website on the producer of this is Maverick Entertainment, which is denoted as a low budget production company in Florida. And so, yeah, on their website, you can see the films that they've produced. And, yeah, so it's underneath the drama and romance. I guess for me, I guess the drama did kind of lead, but when I saw that and I was talking at the same time of viewing that it was listed as drama, it kind of took me back because I'm like, drama? And I had to look in more details of what drama is defined as so I can kind of understand. But I kind of feel like with them saying the love of her life, the fight of her life, the way they were trying to tagline that on the trailer as the big, streamline of the storyline, I was shocked that I didn't see romance. But now on their website, I see that it's also labeled as romance. But I would agree. I guess the drama kind of took the lead on some of that. They had just so many different dramatical moments that's happening in this film. But yeah, so that's good. I'm pretty sure her mom is backing her and making sure that all the business moves that she make is to her benefit, because to be listed as a producer on the things that you're engaging in is quite a business move there. That kind of gives you creds. But then it also kind of sheds light on what I was saying. If she's part of the producing team, she had that freedom, I would say, to probably even make the character be somewhat like her, like as far as dressing like her and stuff. And even the other female had on lashes, and I don't know who box and lashes and stuff. I don't know if they really wear makeup boxing or dolled up like that boxing. But I think that's just the theatrical part of it, As an actress, you're probably going to put on something anyway. So what is a eyelash going to do? It actually looked good, though. The pictures they took and all that, it's just good. I was just coming back on to kind of share that's what I came across and